اتفضلوا.
Hello everyone, this is Mal Khadraoui, Chairman Assistant in EABA, the Egyptian African Businessmen's Association. On behalf of all of EABA members, we thank you for attending this day, Botswana Day. If you're interested in hearing this webinar in English, you can click on the word sign clue and choose English. مساء الخير. أنا مال خضراوي، مساعد رئيس جمعية رجال الأعمال المصريين الأفارقة. بالنيابة عن كل أعضاء الجمعية بنشكركم لحضور فعالية يوم بوتسوانا. مخطط النهارده تبادل المناقشات ما بين الشركات والمؤسسات ما بين مصر وبوتسوانا، مناقشة كل فرص التجارة والاستثمار المشترك، والتعرف على قصص نجاح رجال الأعمال المصريين ورجال الأعمال في بوتسوانا في مجالاتهم المختلفة. إذا كنت مهتم بسماع مناقشات مترجمة باللغة الإنجليزية، تقدر تضغط على علامة الترجمة الموجودة بالأسفل. والآن دعونا نبدأ كلمة افتتاحية يقدمها الدكتور يوسف الشرقاوي رئيس جمعية رجال الأعمال المصريين الأفارقة، مع العلم إن فقرة الأسئلة والإجابات هتكون متاحة بنهاية الويبينار. تفضل دكتور يوسف.
مساء الخير، أشكركم من مصر مقر الرئيسي لجمعية رجال الأعمال المصريين الأفارقة. أشكر مجتمع المال والأعمال الأفريقي. اليوم بوتسوانا، والحديث عن بوتسوانا أقدم فيه الشكر لمكتب بوتسوانا وممثلنا بوتسوانا ريفلوي. شكرا لريفلوي على حسن التنظيم، على المتابعة الجيدة. اليوم يوم سنستعرض فيه كافة بعض الموضوعات المتعلقة لمجتمع المال والأعمال في بوتسوانا. وفي الحقيقة احنا في جمعية رجال الأعمال المصريين الأفارقة نهتم تماما بالتبادل التجاري والاستثماري والتعاون مع الأعمال في القارة الأفريقية، سواء بين بوتسوانا ودول القارة وليس مصر فقط، لكي نستطيع أن نعيد صياغة الاستفادة للقارة من كافة المجريات والسلع الأولية والخامات والموارد الموجودة، تعظيم الفائدة وتعظيم استغلال الموارد وإعادة الاستفادة منها هي مهمة على عاتقنا جميعا. طبعا بالتأكيد بوتسوانا أحد أهم الأسواق في أفريقيا، ولها تجربة تنموية أيضا وتجربة يعني جيدة. نتمنى أن نتبادل اليوم الرأي والمشورة ونستمع إلى الموضوعات المتعددة في قطاعات الاستثمار وفي قطاعات الزراعة وفي ريادة الأعمال وفي العديد من الموضوعات الهامة جدا. أعتقد أننا أمام يعني نموذج مهم جدا نقف عنده. بوتسوانا من الدول الشقيقة الصديقة اللي أتصور أن مجتمع الأعمال فيها قادر على أن يقدم لنا اليوم صورة تعكس واقع الحال في بوتسوانا. يستطيع المستثمر في مصر، يستطيع التاجر، يستطيع المصنع أن يبحث عن شركائه في بوتسوانا. الغرض من هذه اللقاءات هو أن يتم التعريف من مجتمع الأعمال في بوتسوانا إلى كل القارة الأفريقية عما يجري الآن في بوتسوانا من النواحي التطبيقية. سنتعرف من المختصين، من الخبراء، من أصحاب الأعمال، من رواد الأعمال، من سيدات الأعمال. أهلا وسهلا بكم جميعا، وأترك لكم وللمدير الجلسات مها الخضراوي متناول الجلسات مع الأشقاء من بوتسوانا. فلتتفضل. شكرا جزيلا.
أشكرك جدا دكتور يوسف الشرقاوي. والآن كلمة ريفولي سرينياوي ممثلة جمعية رجال الأعمال المصريين الأفارقة إيابا في بوتسوانا. تفضلي. ريفولي.
Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's my pleasure to welcome everyone to our Zoom platform tonight. While we are excited to have you all here tonight, we are especially like to welcome our chairman and EABA board members. We are so glad to have all of you here tonight. We appreciate your presence at this time. We like to extend special welcome to our guest speaker, Assistant to the Director of Investment Promotion at Peru, Ms. Ewese Lejoa, who will speak later on tonight. I am Refilwe Sorinyane, Botswana representative for EABA Association. I represent a country where there's peace, there's respect for property, and there's a government that supports business to succeed. We are in need of agricultural products. There's a sizable gap between supply and demand. We need investors in agriculture, especially right now, speaking to the fresh produce, fishery, and dairy industry in order to improve and enhance the economy at large. Botswana imports of vegetable, fruit, and nut food preparation was $62 million during 2020, according to UN Comtrade database on international trade. Secondly, Botswana currently imports up to 12 million in fish as of 2016, according to SADC Fisheries Fact Sheet. The country produces 300 tons per year, which is below 1% of the GDP. Thirdly, Botswana dairy industry produces about 7 million liters of milk annually, while more than 53 million liters is imported as of 2020 and 2021. The demand in the country is 65 million liters, and local production meets only 11% of this. 89% is imported from South Africa. Thus, agriculture will bring in immediate return on investment, not neglecting other sectors, because we are still a country at its infancy when it comes to setting up and scaling other industries. Tonight, we will showcase a snippet of various agribusinesses in Botswana through various lucrative SMME business models, starting with an introductory video and slideshow focused on each business's key structure, value proposition, and return on investment. Each business here present is running successfully and serving the community in some capacity. Thank you.
Thank you, Refilwe. الآن نقدر نستمع لتجربة مستر كاريبيو تياجل, the lead dog trainer in Canyon Haven. Mr. Caribou, can you join us? So we can join now with Mr. Lisidi Mushiti, founder and director of Botswana Entrepreneurship Initiative. Mr. Lisidi, can you join us? So we can start now with Mr. Musabi Matamba. Mr.
Okay,
Musabi,
yes, thank you.
Mr. Musabi is a CEO and co-founder
Yes.
of Sasutel High-Tech Solution. You can join us your
Yes. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for the opportunity to present my company called Sasso High-Tech Solution. Let me share the screen so that you can get to see what my company is about.
Sure.
My company is called Sasso High-Tech Solutions. It's started inception. It was incepted in Zimbabwe in 2013 as a pro bono consultancy company. And then it was incorporated. It was incorporated in 2016 in Zimbabwe. Then we registered in Zambia in 2017. Then we registered in Botswana in 2019, and Botswana is the one that we made the main office. What we do, we are into energy solutions, which include renewable energies and energy management, energy audit, and energy efficiency. We touch on solar electricity, solar heat, solar cooling, solar pumping, policy development, review and analysis, wind energy generation, waste to energy, cogeneration, biomass power generation, nano construction materials, biofuels, and solutions consultants, including organic animal health solutions for agriculture. We serve governments, communities, private sector, hotels, farms, industries, institutions, and non-governmental organizations. We turn an existing situation into a preferred situation. We are the link to design-mediated management practices. The main problems that we solve are mainly in the energy, water, and food nexus. And our main projects that we have done in terms of traction, we have done 75 kilowatt waste gas to water heating system in 2016, and we have done a 50 kilowatt diesel generator synchronized system, which is grid tied, and we have also done various systems, hybrid systems, as well as feasibility studies and productivity lighting for artificial climate for greenhouses and swine production. The projects that currently need funding, we have rooftop solar leasing, which requires
Mr. Musavi, please, if you want, you can share your screen with us.
Okay, yeah, but it's disabled. It's saying what's disabled. Okay. Now I can share. Okay. The projects that this is our revenue there. Starting from 2013 when we were a pro bono consulting company, up to 2016 when we started to generate our first revenue. The required funding so far is for rooftop solar leasing, which is to the tune of $3 million with a return on investment of 7 years. Then we have, let me check. Then we have irrigation as you pay project, which requires financing. My slides, which requires financing to the tune of $500,000, and solar thermal equipment manufacturing plant in the Center of Excellency, which requires $2 million, and a return on investment of 2 years. Then re-equipping for energy and water efficiency, $250,000.
We still can't see your screen. If you want, you can share it. So I think Mr. Musavi is offline now. We can join with Mr. Lesigo Molavi. Mr. Lesigo is a CEO and co-founder of Torque Investment. Can you start, Mr. Lisigo?
الكاميرا طلعت كويسه. مش حد من العيال دخل تاني؟ ما هو كشف.
Mr. Lisigo, we can hear you now.
بس لا ده برضه على عادي، دي ايوه معميه، بس انت ما بتعملش حاجه قويه.
إذا كان مستر ليسيجو مش مستعد دلوقتي نقدر نبدأ مع مستر مابيجاني تاكاتا. Mr. Mabigani is the CEO and co-founder of Botswana Agriculture. Can you join us? So, Mr. Basijani Bokang. Then Mr. Kopisi Lubund.
Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
I hope I'm audible enough. I'm Biganye Taka, representing the Botswana Agricultural Sciences Professionals Association. I'm going to talk about the opportunities in Botswana's agriculture, of which I believe we are here for. The background of Botswana's agriculture is actually covers both crops and livestock production. Traditional farming is the most dominant in terms of numbers of people involved and the geographical coverage. The majority of farmers are still small-scale farmers, which means they still need for continued assistance in terms of capacity building to commercialize agriculture. We need an effective and vibrant extensive service to ensure that we improve the performance of the sector and its resilience to market changes and climate change. The beef sector is the only subsector of the agricultural sector that has constantly remained a significant contributor to the national gross domestic product, meaning that the value chain, the diverse agricultural value chain is not yet fully explored. And also, the agricultural sector has experienced a steady decline in its contribution to the GDP over the past years. At independence, it was at 42.7%, and now it is at 2%. That means there is still more that can be done. There's still more investment that can be channeled to the agricultural sector to ensure that it is actually transformed and there are returns on investments. The Botswana Agricultural Sciences Professionals Association is an NGO registered legally in Botswana, and its vision is to revive Botswana's agriculture through empowered agricultural professionals. And our activities and services ranges from research, capacity building, and agricultural trainings. And these agricultural training programs are accredited. Promotion of effective agricultural policy implementation, positioning agriculture as a science, a sector to create jobs and wealth. That is our services. And we have different portfolios of membership. We have agricultural students, we have agricultural graduates, we have farmers, and we also have agricultural businesses and corporates. This means this organization is the one that bridges the gap between all these different portfolios that I've already mentioned. Therefore, the issue of skills here is not a problem. The issue of the skills and the support from agricultural business and corporates locally, government parastatals here, it is one of the things that we have tried to ensure that we have a relationship with. And within the BASPA expertise, the different skills and knowledgeable people that we have agricultural extension experts, we have agriculture education, engineers, agribusinesses, agricultural economics, just different portfolios of expertise that we have in our organization. And also there are major challenges in Botswana's agriculture. That is one, there is high national food import bill. Two, there is the issue of climate change. And 3, there is high unemployment amongst the marginalized groups, that is youth and women. And what are the opportunities that Botswana's agriculture has presented itself to us and also the international organizations such as EABA? We have an unexplored, diverse agricultural value chain. And Botswana imports almost every food commodity, meaning there is still higher demand locally than the supply. Therefore, hence investment in the agricultural sector is lucrative. In every component of the agricultural sector is actually lucrative. Therefore, funds channeled towards this sector will actually yield positive results. And what do our organization offers that is special? BASPA provides investors with the skills and knowledge across the diverse agricultural sector. Hence, one step in the right direction to make returns on investment. And BASPA is open. The organization I'm representing is open to collaborate with international organizations like EABA to ensure that actually the investment and they would make and any other interested organizations beyond the borders of Botswana, we can have a collaboration to ensure that we have positive returns on investment. Therefore, I thank you so much for the opportunity and looking forward for more engagements going forward. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Now we can join with Mrs. Julia Clear. Mrs. Julia is a CEO and co-founder of Farmers Natural Produce. So you can join us now. Welcome, Ms. Julia.
Good evening. I'm going to try and share my slides so they can be on in the background.
Sure.
They are loading, so hopefully you'll be able to see them just now.
We can see it now.
You can see. That's good because I can't. I think it's still loading on my side. So you can see the first screen. Ooh. Yes, but that's not the one I want. Wait, let me go back. Okay, here we are. Here we are. Okay, so good evening, our friends in Egypt and in Botswana. This is Miss Julia Claire Farmer, and that really is my name, Farmer. So it's destiny. My company started about 10 years ago, Farmers Natural Produce, and my passion is health of both people and the environment, the both of them. My farm, therefore, is run on organic principles, and we grow a variety of vegetables and herbs and take care of the environment. We don't use any chemicals. A little bit of history. In 2015, I was named Social Entrepreneur of the Year by the Women in Business Association for my work on the organic movement. But I also run markets for entrepreneurs. I am one of them, but we have a great variety of stallholders selling local products, and I really support and advocate that we buy local. I also run another community group on Facebook, actually, called Gab's Gardener. We advocate, again, using organic principles in the way we grow in our gardens. and we have over 60,000 members, and they are worldwide from all over. I'm sure there's even people from Egypt in that group. The main functions of my actual company, well, let's move on. This is actually a video, which I'm not going to show now, but it's just going to show you the entrance to my farm, which is 4 hectares of beautiful farmland. But I'm going to move straight on to the next slide, which, no, I'm trying to move on to the next slide. There we go. Because this explains what we're doing as far as growing vegetables and herbs, what we're doing right now, and what we intend to do in the future. We mainly supply restaurants and hotels with a good variety of organically grown produce, including heirloom varieties. We do also supply individuals. We've got a special service for that. And as I said, we also sell at the markets, including the one I run. And we open the farm to the public so that they can pick their own produce. But there is a lot of room for expansion on all of those. And this, we believe, will support the local youngsters who come out of school without qualifications, as we train them on how to do organic farming. This again will be a video, but I'm going to skip it. We'll just see maybe a picture of, this is what is happening inside one of our 7 tunnels. And you can see we use shade netting, but we also use trees to give extra protection. So I'm moving on to the next slide, hopefully. It wants to play the video, but here we go, yes. So, you know, it's not good enough just to do this ourselves. We want to impart the knowledge to other people in Botswana and worldwide. I am now doing online classes, which are available worldwide, but particularly in Southern Africa. And I do hands-on workshops as well at the farm. Again, a lot of room for that to increase so that we can spearhead the organic movement in Botswana, so that we take care of our beautiful country. We all love Botswana, but we need to take action to take care of it. And then moving on, because I know we're after time. Again, I've got another video, but you'll just see the picture, which is showing where we are doing the workshops at present. But again, we are hoping to actually put up an education center where we can host a lot more people and have a lot of more activities to do with taking care of the environment and organic methods. And lastly, this is the other section of farmers' natural produce. We have a particular interest in the heirloom varieties of vegetables and herbs. And we not only grow them and sell them, but we are also doing our own seed saving. And this is a new project. We've already been in touch with the government, the Ministry of Agriculture, for a way forward so that we can harvest these seeds and package them and then sell them within Botswana, but hopefully even beyond, even in Egypt. We will hope to, in the future, be able to supply you. So these are the 3 main activities that we do at our farm. As you can see, there is lots of room for increase in what we are doing. I'm just taking that off. Maybe that will do the trick. Right. Okay. Thank you for doing that for me. So now I am back. Hello. And yes, so we are really, I can say I'm a small scale farmer with a huge community base. I'm a people person, and at the moment we have just actually started collaborating with Camp Hill, which is a organization where they train disabled people, physically and mentally disabled, in agricultural skills. And I've just started working with them, which is very exciting. And basically, I would like to finish up by saying thank you very, very much for this opportunity. And I believe the success of my farm is the success of the community at large in Botswana and beyond. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Julia. It's an inspiring experience. So we enjoyed with a great experience from Julia. Now we can listen to Mr. Boago Victor. Mr. Boago is a CEO and co-founder of Pecan. Mr. Boago, if you're available now, or if you are ready now, you can join us. So we can join with Mr. Tipatsu. Mr. Tipatsu is the CEO and co-founder of TGNJ Investments. If you're ready, you can join us.
Yes, I'm ready. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
My name is Tabato and I represent TGNG Investments, trading as Nginga AgriConnect Consultants. We are fairly a startup. We've been operating for a year now. We started with the Tswana goats, mainly to learn the do's and don'ts of goat production. But our intended projects are dairy goat production for milk. We also want to grow beans for the fodder, and we're also gonna sell the beans. We are going to produce and process fodder for our goats. The other project that we want to do is a groundnut production for oil. We want to ensure maximum production and reduce the risk of spoiled and wasted produce before it reaches the market by utilizing modern farming techniques on our farm projects. Our mission is to provide quality dairy food products and service expertise for the agricultural community in a manner which is profitable for every stakeholder involved. Our vision is to be diversified, to be a diversified full-time farm that provides dairy goat milk and products and ground oil products for our continent. We also want to become a farm business that other farmers learn from and support those who share our vision of sustainable agriculture. We need farmers to utilize opportunities that exist in the agricultural sector through collaborations and harness these opportunities towards wealth creation, youth employment, poverty alleviation, and attain food security, then ultimately export. The dairy goat subsector is one of the untapped markets in the country and Africa as a whole, which has the potential to create employment and significantly contribute to the economy. According to the Ministry of Agricultural Development and Food Security, the subsector is still at an infant stage in Botswana. As of March, there was a total of 21 farmers in the department's inventory, comprising 18 individual farmers and only 3 government institutions from different locations across the country. Most dairy farmers identified owned only between 2 to 20 goats, mainly for subsistence purposes. Botswana's head population at that time stood at 573 goats, with 191 goats, with 191 milking goats, producing about 5,775 liters per annum. That created an employment of only 24 people, excluding the 3 government institutions I mentioned. So we want to focus on this good production by investing in 160 hectare land to accommodate 300 goats of 2 breeds, namely Saanen and British Alpine. We are basically going to start with breeding stock of 300 goats, 150 Saanen, and 150 British Alpine. We need to invest in tractor and implements. We also need to make sure that we have machinery to process what we are going to be producing. That will be the milk. We need to process it into cheese or yogurt. We can also make goat milk soap. The beans that we are going to grow, we need to process them, dry them, and then sell them. The groundnuts that we are going to grow, we need to press them. And all the waste from this production is going to be the feed for the foods, on top of the fodder that will be growing and will be producing. For this project, we basically need an investment of 6. Let me see. We need an investment of 663,325 US dollars to purchase land, that is 160 hectares, to purchase tractors and implements, to purchase farm equipment and machinery that will be processing everything. And then the return on investment that I offer to any investors or to the investors there will be, I'm able to offer equity on my company. I'm a sole shareholder of this company and founder. And what we need to do is create employment. That is the main focus. And we need your backing. Through the ministry, through the government, the Ministry of Agriculture offers training courses for different districts to empower farmers, mainly on dairy management skills, because it is concerned with the demand and the supply that we are able to produce. Thank you.
Thank you very much. استمتعنا بتجربة ملهمة جديدة من بوتسوانا. دلوقتي هنقدر نسمع مستر بيكي وبعده هيكون في جلسة مناقشة، عشان كده تقدروا تبعتوا لنا كل أسئلتكم واستفساراتكم سواء على صفحة الفيسبوك أو هنا من خلال زوم. Mr. Becky هو CEO and co-founder of New Look Sim Promise Farm. You can join us if you're ready now. Mr. Becky, are you ready? We can't hear you. Please unmute.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Greetings, everyone. My name is Piki Baraidi. the director of New Looks and Promise Farm, which is currently based in Ditadi, 40 kilometers from Francistown, the second capital city of Botswana, funded in the year 2014. I'm a small-scale farmer dealing with horticulture. We produce different types of vegetables, mainly like butternuts, tomatoes, green meals, and we have introduced garlic to our production as well, since we have noticed that we import most of our garlic from South Africa and as far as China. And the second thing that I want to talk about is I started in 2014 plowing a 2 hectares farm, and I have 2 full-time workers. I'm self-funded, and I did this because I've realized that Botswana is importing most of its vegetables from outside. So me staying in the northern side part of Botswana, there is plenty of water. We are supplying retail shops with fresh vegetables like Spar, ShopRite, Pecan, and my main aim is to go beyond borders. I want to supply other countries, and my main challenges that I'm facing right now is I don't have enough land, and the land that I'm operating in right now, I'm renting. I'm renting it, and the supply from my farm is limited, because for me to acquire land here in Botswana, I have to buy. So I'm limited by a land to do much of, because I have a burning passion of doing horticulture. And the other challenges that I'm facing is climatic weather conditions. Here in Botswana is too hot, and sometimes we face storms. So me growing these crops in open land, it's a bit challenge for me. I need controlled rooms, like tunnels, which can protect my crops from getting damaged to the climate conditions. And the market, we don't have a national cropping plan, which makes it difficult. Sometimes we can even grow same crops at the same time, which sometimes we flood the market and we struggle to sell. So I have taken advantage of garlic, because in Botswana, there are no garlic farmers. I want to be a full-time garlic farmer. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Becky.
Yes, ma'am.
Now we can listen to Mrs. Ewetsi. If you are available now, you can join us.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is Ewetsi Jowa, and I'll be presenting to you about SPEDU. Can you all see my screen?
It's loading. Yes.
Is my screen visible?
Available now.
Okay, can I start the presentation?
Sure. Go on.
Okay, so SPEDU is a government-owned or state-owned company registered under the Companies Act of Botswana. Our mandate is to carry out business as a regional economic diversification agency that facilitates, invests in, and implements sustainable economic projects for job creation and social upliftment opportunities for the region. The main priority areas that we focus on are the agribusiness, infrastructure, manufacturing, tourism, and services. Our vision is to be globally competitive region, and our key functions are to promote investment in viable projects, lobby for conducive environment for doing business in the SPEDU region, facilitate land allocation for investors, stakeholder coordination and facilitation of dialogue for projects, and address barriers to business startups and growth, facilitate market access for projects, and provide support for entrepreneurship development. We have an eligibility criteria that tells us who our clients are supposed to be, and our domestic investment threshold, that is for local investors, is 250,000 pula, and for foreign investment, it's 500,000 pula. For you to be registered as a SPEDU client, we request you to provide a fully detailed business plan, a cover letter that indicates facilitation that is required from SPEDU, as in what kind of help do you require from SPEDU. We also request you to provide company documents, that is the certificate of incorporation and company extract. You should be also registered with our local Companies Act. We also request for CVs for all the shareholders and identification for all the shareholders. That could be in the form of Omang for our local investors and passports for our foreign investors. We have some incentives for all the companies that register with us and set up in our local region. The first incentive is the 5% corporate tax for the first 5 years, then 10% thereafter. We also have a rebate of customs duties and value-added tax under the Schedule 4 rebate item 470.03 for manufacturing done exclusively for export outside common custom area. We have a government offtake, that is direct offtake on procurement of at least 30% on government procurement plans. We have a minimum 50-year lease on land. It could be agricultural land, could be manufacturing land or industrial land. We have a one-stop service center, streamlined processes for issuance of work and residence permits and licenses. We also provide linkages for our clients through government entities, local authorities, and the private sector. The investment opportunities that we have in agribusiness is floriculture, fruit and vegetable production, goats, and sheep. We have urban agricultural land amounting to 1,200 hectares in our Speru region. The land is not a whole land, it's divided into pieces, but added up all together, the land makes up the 1,200 hectares. As you can see on the map here, there's a good chunk of land over here next to our industrial area. And then there are 2 pieces of land next to the Botswana area. That is locally here in CBD Peak. That is all I had for you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. دلوقتي نقدر نستقبل كل الأسئلة، لو حد عنده سؤال يقدر يبعته على صفحتنا على الفيسبوك أو هنا من خلال زوم. دلوقتي نقدر نستقبل الأسئلة من خلال الدكتور يسر الشرقاوي Chairman of EABA. اتفضل يا دكتور.
شكرا لكم جميعا، شكرا على حجم المعلومات، واشكر ويستا، اشكر جوليا، اشكر ليكروي، كل المتحدثين من بوتسوانا. لكن خلوني ابدا بما انتهت اليه ويتسا. Regarding your very fantastic presentation, ايه هي الفرص الاستثماريه الجاده الحقيقيه التي تحتاجها بوتسوانا، وكيفيه دخول وخروج الاموال المستثمره الى بوتسوانا؟ يعني اهم الفنادق اللي موجوده في بوتسوانا، اهم المراكز التجاريه الموجوده في بوتسوانا. دينا فكره عن يعني للتشجيع لعدد المنتجات المطلوبه للسوق البوتسوانا، وايه المنتج اللي في بوتسوانا ممكن كسلعه اوليه او خامه نقدر نجيبها من بوتسوانا الى الاسواق الافريقيه. ويتس. Weeks.
Sorry, can you come again?
خليني أشكرك على العرض الجيد وعلى ما قدمتيه من عرض متميز، لكن خلينا عايزين نتحدث عن الفرص الاستثمارية، القطاعات الاستثمارية اللي ممكن ندخل فيها في سوق بوتسوانا. ايه اهم المزايا، اهم السلع، حجم السوق، ايه هي المنتجات اللي ممكن نستوردها من بوتسوانا، او الخامات اللي ممكن بوتسوانا تصدرها للقاره الافريقيه، العمله في بوتسوانا ودخول وخروج الاموال. يعني رجل الاعمال في العالم في افريقيا بيسال على الجمارك والضرائب. الاجابه
I'm not sure if I caught it all, but in terms of tax, we have the tax incentive. Like I mentioned earlier before, the 5% corporate tax for the first 5 years is lower as compared to the normal tax rate that is around 22%. We also have lands that are good for horticulture. We have horticultural farmers along the Tudi Broad area who are currently successful in their businesses. Is there anything else that I didn't touch on?
ما زلت انتظر اجابه عن حجم السوق. ما هي اهم المنتجات اللي ممكن نستوردها للقاره الافريقيه؟ السلع الاوليه الرو ماتيريال، الخامات، الرو ماتيريال، سنترال بانك.
دكتور يسري، بعد إذن حضرتك يقدر يجاوبنا على السؤال ده مستر ليسيدي, founder and director of Botswana Entrepreneurship. Mr. Lissidi, if you're available now, you can join us. Are you hearing me? Mr. Lissidi, are you hearing me?
Miss Julia. Miss Julia. Miss Julia.
Hello, I'm here.
Yes.
I couldn't answer those
now
bigger
the
questions.
question.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
أفضل الأعمال كيفية التوسع في هذه الأعمال، هي منتجات يعني ما حجم المنتجات اللي ممكن يعني تصدر من وهل هناك تجارب تصديرية سابقة أم لا؟
Yeah, I can answer that very simply as not yet. As I said, I'm a small scale farmer. So at the moment, we are doing our best to supply the capital city, Gaborone. Most of our products really are better consumed in the country because we deal mostly with salad vegetables, and exporting them would not be very good for carbon footprint, but also not very good for the nutrition of the vegetables. That is why I feel the seed saving area that we are embarking on is something that could be considered for export in the future. I think some of my colleagues here are probably in a better position to talk more about exporting. But there's still a lot to be done in Botswana, as I think all the speakers have said, that we are heavily reliant on South Africa, and especially with the COVID pandemic, we really suffered when everything was shut down at the borders. So there's plenty for expansion within Botswana, but I'm sure like garlic production, garlic can be exported without causing too much detriment to the product. Maybe Refuelway is the best person to talk on our behalf.
دكتور يسري، هل عند حضرتك سؤال تاني؟
مستر لسيجو. Mr. Lesigo.
Thank you, sir.
Yes,
Yes.
Mr. Lesigo. Mr. Lesigo, can you give us a presentations or to present yourself and your business?
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. Kindly allow me to share my presentation in a slide form, but briefly start with a short video to introduce my company. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Try to share it again.
Okay. Can you see it?
Hello. It's okay. إذا كان الفيديو يشمل صوت رجاء افتح الصوت بس.
Okay. The audio, okay. Okay. Okay, let me stop sharing. Okay. Okay, good evening, everyone. Let me go to the slide presentation. I am here to represent a company called Talk to Investments, trading as Countryside Agro, which is a farming business focusing mainly on horticulture. The company aims to produce quality and nutritive vegetables, fruits, and nuts for the sector of the population by ensuring good agricultural practices. It has been evident that Botswana is not self-sufficient in as far as vegetable production is concerned. So according to the United Nations Comtrade database on international trade, Botswana imports for vegetable, fruits, nuts for food preparations was at $62.63 million during the year 2020. So in Botswana, we have a domestic demand for vegetables at 750,000 metric tons, and we are currently producing only 48% of our domestic demand. This is as per the Ministry of Agricultural Development and Food Security. Now we herein propose that our company propose a 10-hectare pecan nut plantation that is targeting a yield of 3 tons per hectare of nut in shells. On top of what we are currently producing in terms of vegetable, we are intending to expand our production now to venture into nut production, more specifically the pecan nut, which is a market that has not been fully tapped in Botswana. So since investment in pecan nut production is a long-term investment, the company proposed to intercrop the plantation with vegetables such as garlic, potato, tomato, rotated in an open field. That is the proposed model envisages to ensure cash flows in the first years before the pecan trees can come into full production, because we are anticipating full production of pecan trees after 3 to 4 years. So in the interim, we shall be intercropping our orchard with the said vegetables. So full production, like I said, is expected from year 4, and with an estimated return of 2.1 million pula per year, with production and inputs cost estimated at 600,000 pula during the establishment year. Vegetable intercrops shall cover up to 3 hectares in an estimated return of 1.2 million pula per season. So mainly the estimations were done using the garlic as the cash crop here. The pecan plantation will be expanded from 10 hectares to 40 hectares within the 2 years of establishment. We also looked at the consumption or the market trends for pecan nuts worldwide. We have found out that pecan nut is widely consumed as a snack across the US, Canada, Mexico, and the Western Europe countries, owing to its nutty flavor and taste. Therefore, there is great demand for pecan in countries like China, and the country is the main export market. The nut and shell market in China has seen extensive growth since the year 2007. This is as per the Farmers Weekly magazine. The demand for pecan nuts has been witnessing a substantial rise in the global nuts market, owing to increasing consumer awareness regarding their health benefits. We also looked at the fact that as the health and nutrition continues to dominate, consumer preferences is rising in terms of pecan nuts consumption. So we can see there is promising trends in as far as pecan nuts is concerned. Therefore, we anticipate that tapping into the pecan nut production can bring a positive return on investment. So we are here in proposing that we venture into this business. So as the owner and the sole proprietor of the company, we have already secured 13 hectares of land and planning to lease the additional 40 hectares, which is land available from my family. We have also secured borehole water for irrigation. And as such, we just need a partner who can help us into actually getting all the input cost and the initial capital in as far as the orchard establishment is concerned. And we will be ready to start our production. With that, I want to thank you for the opportunity that you have accorded me. I hear and say, let's work together. Together we can do so much. Thank you so much.
Sure, thank you Mr. Lesigo. أحب أعرف لو في حد من السادة الحضور بيحب يشاركنا.
سيد لسيجو، قبل أن تغادر.
Yes. Yes, sir. Thank you.
ماذا عن زراعة الذرة الصفراء، وكيف يمكن أن تتوسع بوتسوانا في زراعة الذرة الصفراء؟ أتحدث عن زراعة اليلو ميز. أتحدث عن زراعة اليلو ميز أو الذرة الصفراء، وما لذلك من أهمية في أسواق الأعلاف الحيواني في دول القارة الأفريقية.
Okay, thank you so much. There's actually potential in yellow maize production. Here in Botswana, we also have a deficit in as far as grain production is concerned. So mainly our maize plantations are dependent on rain. They are rain-fed agricultural run enterprises. So we still have a deficit in as far as maize is concerned, because here in Botswana, we have industries that are growing, because the yellow maize is mainly used for livestock feed, be it chicken feed, cattle, and so forth. It is the main component of livestock feed. So with the mushrooming of feed production industries or feed manufacturing industries, we see the demand for yellow maize rising. We also see the demand for yellow maize rising because most of Botswana, in their backyards, they keep indigenous chickens, and this maize is the main feed for such chickens. So we see a potential in both the formal market and the informal market here in Botswana. Thank you so much.
Thank you. دكتور يسري عندك سؤال تاني؟
مستر لسيدي مستر لسيدي.
Hello.
Yes.
Oh. Okay.
لك أن تعطينا نبذة عن ما يمكن أن تقدمه بوتسوانا أو حكومة بوتسوانا لدعم رواد الأعمال. ألو.
Oh, yes. I would like to introduce myself. My name is Lesedi Mosheti. I'm a young farmer in Botswana, a young self-funded farmer in Botswana. I'm the founder and director of Botswana Entrepreneurship Initiative, which is basically an entrepreneurial platform that links the business community with relevant stakeholders. Can I share my screen?
Sure, go on.
Okay. Just a moment. I think there's something wrong with my.
Okay, can you go directly?
Come again?
Can you go directly without presentation? You can explain to us directly from your presentation.
Yes. So at the Botswana Entrepreneurship Initiative, we have the Agri-Produce Market Forum, where we link local farmers with funders, and market. We provide market access for them. Basically, what we do, we host different workshops around the country. We bring CEDA, we bring the NDB. Those are the government funders, and we also bring the retailers, the local retailers. What we do there is let me.
أعتقد إن إحنا فقدنا الاتصال بمستر لسيدي.
سيدي مستر موسى. مستر موسى.
Yes, exactly. I can hear you.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Can we هل تستطيع أن تحدثنا عن مدى احتياج بوتسوانا للتكنولوجيا؟ ما هي أنواع التكنولوجيا التي تحتاج بوتسوانا؟ ماذا عن الشراكة الاستراتيجية فيما يتعلق بالاستثمار في التكنولوجيا؟
Yeah, that's really great. Yeah, thank you so much for such a question. Yeah, there is a great need for technologies in Botswana, specifically looking at water management, energy management, looking at agriculture technology, specifically looking at the likes of nano solutions for green building and agriculture. And there is also need for technology with regards to renewable energy, because there is nothing much that is being done in terms of that space. And also, if we look at Botswana, it is also strategically located within the 16 countries in the SADC region, which enables us to actually harness the power for the region if we are to look at energy. And also there is the likes of wheeling power, which is now within the Southern African power pool, which connects the 16 African countries. So it's really possible to leverage on that, as well as other technologies that which can be available once we establish a partnership. I think that's key. I don't know if there is any question.
عظيم. لا، كانت إجابة حضرتك واضحة.
شكرا جزيلا سيد سيجو.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
سيجو. هل ترى أن
renewable energy, but there is nothing much that is being done in terms of that space. And also, if we look at Botswana, it is also strategically located within the 16 countries in the SADC region, which enables us to. It is also strategically located within the 16 countries in the SADC region, which enables us to. It is also strategically located within the 16 countries in the SADC region, which enables us to. It is also strategically located
سيجو.
Yes, sir.
هل ترى أن البنية التحتية في الاستثمار الزراعي جاهزة تماما للاستثمار في القارة الأفريقية أو في بوتسوانا؟ ماذا تحتاجون في الاستثمار الزراعي؟ هل المرافق متوفرة؟ الكهرباء، المياه، الأسمدة، مصانع الأسمدة، أم تستوردون؟ أم هناك استيراد للأسمدة والمنتجات أو المواد البلاستيكية، الخراطيم، البايب لاين؟ نحتاج ناخذ فكرة عامة.
Thank you so much. Generally, agricultural infrastructure in Botswana is there, but it is not at a very, very advanced stage. We do have most of our farmlands in the areas where they are not reached mainly by electricity, hence the need to invest more in renewable energy sources such as solar, because most of our farms are off the grid. So there's much needed to be done in as far as infrastructure is concerned. Generally, there are manufacturing companies around Botswana, for example, for inputs like fertilizers. So though we still import some of the fertilizers from neighboring countries, but we do have local companies that are doing fertilizer production. So in general terms, there is also need for water management and water provision into most of the farming areas, because we mainly depend on underground water or groundwater for irrigation purposes. Hence, there is great need to focus much into infrastructure development in as far as water resources and energy is concerned. Thank you so much.
Referee. 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 Mr. Kuketsu. Kuketsu. Mr. 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 Kuketsu.
نقدر نستقبل دلوقتي مستر بوند. مستر بوند إذا كنت مستعد.
Mr. Bond. Mr. Bond.
Good evening. Hello.
Yes, Mr. Bond. Yes, Mr. Bond, you are ready? Mr. Bond, you are ready? Mr. Bond, you are ready?
Hello.
Yes. Mr.
Hello.
Bond?
Oh,
Yes, Mr.
thank you. I was having difficulty speaking. No one could hear me.
Because you have a problem.
May I start?
Go ahead, Mr. Bond. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much. I'm from Botswana and I'm representing Bonta Farming Enterprises. I am the Bonta Farming Enterprises, which was founded in January 2021, and it is a youth-led agribusiness, with myself being the sole shareholder. I am a final year completing student, and I'm studying a Bachelor's of Science degree in Animal and Veterinary Sciences at the Botswana University of Agriculture and Natural Resources. So our mission at Bonta Farming is to be the #1 choice for farmers seeking agro-industrial solutions, and to be the bridge between thought accomplishment for farmers and the bridge between inspiration and value achievement. Through my degree, I have been able to afford farmers the following services under the ruminant production sector. We help farmers with routine management, vaccination programs, herd health plans, feed ration formulations, animal nutrition, animal husbandry, on-farm vaccinations, and we also do clinical cases of infectious diseases for farmers, giving them treatment. So our aim was to start a small stock feedlot in Botswana for chevron production using the boer goat under intensive systems. We chose to undergo this as there's currently no small stock feedlot operation in Botswana, so this will be the first of its kind, which affords us an advantage as we will have no competition besides local farmers, which really sell small quantities. So the purpose of the livestock that will be held or to be produced, stud rams, being the boer goats, which will be for carcasses and slaughter and for sale to local farmers. Also to sell pure stud does for sale to local farmers and for meat production. Also producing purebred weaners. Also producing castrates, which will be sold for the chevron carcasses. And all cows during our production will also be sold either as carcasses or to local farmers to improve the national herd. So the opportunities, as I mentioned, is that there's no existing small stock feedlot in Botswana. And then also our government is under negotiations with China, Norway, Saudi Arabia, and the Arab Emirates for Botswana to be a producer of chevron or goat meat for export to said countries. These countries stated that they are looking for between 350,000 to 450,000 tons of goat meat per year, which gives us an open market or a high opportunity to actually return on the investment. The government is also willing to assist citizens that are undergoing any efforts to improve the national goat herd, as the government is also currently occupying most of its efforts to improve the national small stock herd in Botswana and increase it. So our contribution as Bontla Farming Enterprises, we have 200 hectares that are available to farm. On these 200 hectares, we have a borehole that we also have a 4-ton truck which will be used to transfer livestock to and from abattoirs and to local farmers around the country. We are also willing to use 10 to 15 hectares of, so that Bontla Farming Enterprises is asking for is firstly to acquire our breeding stock, which is at 300 herds, 285 being purebred boer goats, the females, and then the remaining 15 being bucks. We'll also be asking for assistance to transport these animals from South Africa to Botswana. We then also ask for assistance to acquire a hydroponic fodder system that feeds 500 goats. 500 goats that will be on the feedlot. And then we also ask for assistance for feeds and medicating on this feedlot, assistance with capital for the housing and the kraals. Our calculated investment is at 1,217,250 pula, with an added 350,000 pula as a contingency if we will, in case of we need to build an extra reservoir or to drill an extra borehole, or we see fit to increase the breeding stock that we will be having on the feedlot. So with that being said, unfortunately I can't share my screen, but I had made estimates for our kidding and our sales. So I'll just go through them briefly At year 1, with our 285 breeding stock, sales will begin at year 2. Breeding 285 to give us 142 males and 143 females, with the assumption that half will be male and female. Our cast rates will be 140 that will be sold to the market at 1,500 pula each, giving us 210,000 from the males, and all females will be kept for breeding the following year. So in year 1, actually in year 2, our estimated earnings will be at 210,000 with a 40% investment repayment from the total earnings of sales from the livestock. In year 3, our estimated total sales are at 351,000 pula, 40% investment repayment, which will be at 140,400 pula. In year 4, our estimated earnings or revenue is at 724,000 with 40% investment repayment at 289,600. So the return on investment, as I said, I am the sole shareholder of Bunta Farming Enterprises. So I am willing to put 30% forward for the investors that will be assisting us to be able to get the operation up and running. And then, as mentioned, payments will be made in installments at 40% for each year. We will be depositing, depending on our earnings, 40% of the payment of the investment. So I'll stop at that and thank you.
Thank you Mr. بوند. شكرا لكل ممثلي بوتسوانا.
سيد بوند سيد بوند.
Hello, yes, I'm here.
Yes. هل ترى أن قطاع الزراعة في بوتسوانا جاهز للعمل وجذب الشراكة الاستثمارية، وأن مناخ الاستثمار جاذب، وأن هناك كل الخدمات اللوجستية للزراعة مثل التخزين والتبريد والنقل؟ هل يمكن عقد اجتماع عاجل مع بعض المستوردين للمنتجات من مصر ومن المغرب، المنتجات الزراعية من بوتسوانا؟ وأيضا استيراد المنتجات من بوتسوانا، وأيضا وتوريد المستلزمات الخاصة بالإنتاج الزراعي. هل أنتم جاهزون لهذا المستوى من التعامل الاستثماري؟ شكرا.
Okay, thank you for the questions. I couldn't really hear much of the questions, but I heard about the logistics. Logistics for the transportation of either live animals or carcasses, that is possible. There are various companies in Botswana that are dealing with the transportation of live animals, and also those that are dealing with the transportation of carcasses, either from abattoirs or from farm to abattoir, or across borders, such as from Botswana to Namibia, or through South Africa through Botswana to Namibia, and vice versa. And I didn't quite hear the Morocco one clearly, but I think you're asking if it would be possible for them to invest, and I believe that would be possible. I don't have doubt about it because of the efforts that are currently being put in by our government to increase the national goat herd and to improve the breeds that we are using, so that we could actually export a better grade of goat meat to the countries that I mentioned, being China, Norway, Saudi Arabia, and the Arab Emirates. And then the last one, I got the last bit. If you said, am I ready? I believe I am ready. I've been planning on this for the past 2 years, and I've got it. I've got the confidence that I am quite ready for this operation. If I missed any of your questions, please reiterate the question. My network reception is not.
هل ترى ان مناخ الاستثمار وفي وهل انتم بحاجه الى منتجات او خامات او مساعدات؟
Okay, thank you. I believe Botswana's climate is actually quite ready and quite needing of foreign investment, because our government is trying its level best through what they have is the Youth Development Fund, where it's a 50% grant and a 50% loan. They also have funding from SEDA and the National Development Bank, but unfortunately, they don't have enough funds to assist everybody, especially for such large-scale projects, and also with the issue of land. So a foreign investment will be of a great help, because most land in Botswana is being purchased instead of being awarded to citizens. So investment would help Botswana, and Botswana is ready for the investment. And then for the second question, I missed out. Can you please repeat the second part of the question? Hello?
شكرا جزيلا. شكرا جزيلا. اترك الفلور لمها لاداره الجلسه.
شكرا جزيلا دكتور يوسف الشرقاوي، شكرا جزيلا لكل الأعضاء والحضور، شكرا لكل أسئلتكم، وشكرا لكل فريقنا في بوتسوانا. نشكركم جدا على حضوركم النهارده، ونتمنى تعاون مثمر مستمر بين الدولتين. جمعية رجال أعمال المصريين الأفارقة فاتحة إيديها لكل أشكال التعاون الممكن. تقدروا تراسلونا دايما عن طريق صفحتنا، عن طريق الويب سايت أو الإيميلز المتاحة. وشكرا جدا لحضراتكم.